Imagine, if you will, a baseball stadium. And then in said baseball stadium, you put a wrestling ring at home base. And then one at first base. And then one at third base. And then imagine wrestlers wrestling. Not just in one ring, not just in two rings, but in all three rings at the same time. And then came the fucking chariots.
First of all, I've always been a curious cat, and I love audiences, and I love entertaining audiences. I'm an Irish storyteller that likes to put bums in seats, and that's my big charge out of life. And so I went to a Ringling Brothers show, a Circus, and all of a sudden, and usually they're boring, but in this case, there was three rings going at one time, and there was these unbelievable horses in one, and there was unbelievable acrobatic in another, and there was a great other troupe playing in another. And I'm going like, oh, look, this fascinates me. My head's swiveling here. Totally not boring. Totally very interesting. And the rest of, the circus lovers were there with it too. I said, why can't I do it in the wrestling business? So I will always, my question for me all the time is why? Why and why not? And why shouldn't I? And why shouldn't I try? And so I went back and I booked the Cleveland Stadium. And I got for $1,000. I bought the chariots from the back lot of Paramount.
So, Johnny Powers, with $60,000 in ad money from Duke Beer, was about to throw the first Super Bowl of wrestling from Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. And Johnny Valentine would find himself back in our story, this time as the booker for Martinez and Powers, deciding to follow a trend similar to Valentine's booking mentor. That's right, you guessed it, George Scott. And the same methods that worked for Scott in the Carolinas, well, it was killing the territory up north because the slow and methodical style that Valentine had used, learning from Scott, was bringing down the houses in Buffalo, according to Ron Martinez, who passed that info along from the Wrestling Classics message board before he passed away. Valentine would also be the top heel who'd be headlining the stadium card with Powers, who obviously had experience with cards like this a few years prior when he was facing San Martino in Pittsburgh.